Hey, Coach John here, and welcome to your Whole30 journey. In this short video, I'm going to explain the overview of the program and simple steps to getting started towards a healthier lifestyle and with a healthier diet in the process. So, what is the Whole30 exactly? I'm sure you're wondering at this point. Think paleo, but a little more strict. Also, this is a clean eating approach. Essentially, I don't want to call it a detox diet because it sounds like something out of Hollywood, but basically, you are committing to yourself to get the best result possible to go completely clean for 30 days. And this is not going to be easy, but I can promise you, everyone that's followed through with this has seen incredible results. It's like a hormonal reset, and a lot of this ties down to, as simply as you put it, blood sugar levels. I'm not sure how familiar you may be with our hormonal terminology, but leptin, ghrelin, and insulin all drive fat storage, energy levels, and a few other things. And by having sugar in our diet, processed flour in our diet, and also packaged foods in our diet, it's really throws all those out of whack. So this is going to give our body a nice reset. And also, it's a healthy eating lifestyle. It's not really a diet. And we'll talk later about what happens after the 30 days. This is one of the questions I usually get is, do I have to eat like this for the rest of my whole life? And no, but that's the answer is no, you do not. But that's something we'll address as you wrap up your Whole30 experience. And also, it is a great way to drop body fat, increase energy, and improve performance in the process. So what it includes in your diet is going to be primarily built around chicken, fish, beef, pork, and other game and ruminants, nuts and seeds, fruit, healthy fats such as olive, coconut, or avocado-based recipes or products, vegetables, of course. There's going to be a large portion of your carbohydrate intake, eggs as well. And I will, the Whole30 program itself actually put together a ton of really cool resources that are like official guides on exactly what you can eat. And I would just be repeating myself here if I list off every little thing. So but don't worry, I've actually included all of those for you on our startup guide. So remember, the cool thing with this is that there's actually no calorie counting. At least do that for the first 30 days. If you're trying to maximize your results as time goes on, I would encourage you to look into portion control. But for just starting out for these 30 days, just focus on the plate and average meal portions that they guide you through in the official guides, which I'll share with you. And typically this is based off the size of your palm, your thumb. It's actually pretty cool. And if you decide to invest in the book, It Starts With Food, which we'll talk about, they actually show you exactly what they're talking about. You can also find the same guidelines on the official Whole30 website, and I'll have it waiting for you. You want a balance of high protein and fat with veggies, right? There's going to be some other ways to get your carbs in, but vegetables should be the primary source. Quantity should take care of itself if you follow these guidelines correctly. Oh, and here's a little note. You don't want to binge on nuts, seeds, and fruit because this will, you may feel better in the process, but realistically, if you're trying to drop body fat, this is not going to help you at all. So remember, your primary source of carbohydrates should be coming from vegetables. So how it began, well, I like to say it goes back to the paleo diet, which you see in the top right. Dr. Loren Cordain, he was the godfather of the paleo movement, if you want to call it that, years ago. And then Rob Wolf in the bottom right actually followed in his footsteps. And actually he has a whole blog and thing on podcast as well, and does seminars on healthy eating and the science behind that. He's pretty intelligent guy. So that's a great resource as well. But really, It Starts With Food by Dallas and Melissa Hartwig. They come more from the CrossFit community. Regardless of how you feel about CrossFit, there's actually a lot to be learned from their book. And I don't necessarily agree 100% with everything, but there's enough to take away that you can plug in and be successful with. And if you follow through, you will get a ton of health benefits, in addition to body fat loss, which is what most of us are looking for on some level. So that is the book that I am highly recommending you start with. and what this Whole30 program is based off of. So why does it work? Inherently, it's lower carbohydrate, and realistically, that's part of the fat loss equation. You won't be eating 200, 300, 400 grams of carbohydrates, which you may be eating right now. You're gonna have a higher fat, higher protein diet, which hormonally ties back to how, works with our blood sugar, which once again, this all ties into the fat loss equation from a hormonal level. Also, it eliminates sugars, processed foods, a lot of the stuff that's just terrible for us. And I think it'd be pretty easy to agree with me when I say that we can pretty much agree that sugars and processed foods are not going to help us reach any sort of physique or body fat loss goal. And also, you're going to increase healthy protein and healthy fat intake. Most of our diets are lacking in protein, and so just by tweaking that balance, it's going to make a massive difference. So little on the science, more food and more quality food stabilizes blood sugar levels, insulin production, thyroid production, leptin, ghrelin, and by cutting the crap, like I said, the sugars, chemicals, etc. So you could go and research each one of these hormones, and there's actually a lot to be learned from it. You'll learn a good bit in the book. It starts with food. But realistically, like a low-calorie diet, for example, your thyroid production slows down when your body basically adapts to eating less, which is one of the drawbacks to lower-calorie diets, because they do work, but they don't work forever, and they're pretty miserable, right? So this will actually, you may eat, your body is gonna talk to you a lot more as far as how much you should be eating and how well you're doing that. So it's going to be a pretty interesting process. You're going to learn a lot about your relationship with food as well. So the benefits you can expect if you follow through 100%: body fat reduction, increased energy and mood, reduction or elimination of allergies, which I found several occasions, less inflammation in your joints and the body overall, lower intensity from menstruation, which is a very interesting benefit. And those are the main things you're going to find. Overall, you're going to really question your relationship and dependency with specific foods, because that's what they're trying to teach us is, how we perceive the food and why we feel the way we do towards certain foods when we know we shouldn't be eating them, for example. So keys to success: plan and prep. You're going to have to plan and prep. And you're going to have to plan and prep. But more importantly, make a commitment to yourself, because that is really the only way you're going to do this and be successful with it. And find or use a system or process. I'm actually going to give you several of our members' systems they personally used, the processes they follow to be successful, whether it be, single mom, full-time working, woman that's not married, without a family, or, maybe it is, a mom that works full-time and, runs the household with, the husband and the kids. She's got to find the time for all this. So time is not an excuse, right? And we're going to show you exactly how you can be successful with this. And also, you're going to learn to read your labels, because that is ultimately going to help you decide if a food qualifies or if it doesn't. So I know you're probably thinking, this sounds like a lot of work. Yes, it is. It's not like you just, grab a bunch of packs of Pop-Tarts and you hit the road and you're good to go. You're going to be eating quality foods that you're going to have to invest some time in, but you're going to get a massive return if you do it right. I'll never be able to do this, John. That's bullshit, because I have seen a lot of women with very little time and a whole lot on their plate be extremely successful with this. So take that excuse out of your mind right now. What am I supposed to eat? Like I said, we're actually going to give you not only the guidelines, but I've created a recipe book based on the recipes that actually taste good that our members have enjoyed with them, by themselves and or with their whole families. So that is actually going to be a lot easier than you think. And my friends and family will never go for this. That's not necessarily true. And if they don't, they're going to be blown away by you when you see incredible results. So in case you had any doubts, here's Tanya. She just finished actually a few days ago with her Whole30. She lost 8 pounds. And as she said at the bottom, she's not stopping because I like the way I feel and look. Not only did she change physically, but, We got her on Facebook because it was part of our challenge at our gym. She's learning how to cook, for the first time and enjoy it in the process. So it's been a pretty humbling journey for her. I don't have a before and after picture with her me on hand. Here's Kelly. Kelly did our first Whole30 challenge at our women's only gym in Fairfax, and she lost a ton of weight, dropped several sizes, and she's actually maintained the lifestyle. Here it is, like almost 6 months later, and this is her at the end of her Whole30, and now, so she's maintained the lifestyle since. I wish I had her initial picture on hand. Debbie's been with me for several years, but I've pushed her onto the more of a paleo lifestyle, and also she's done the Whole30. So you can see the numbers there from her doctor. Incredible. She's down 50 pounds, the last year. It's even more than that now. So you can see the significant difference in just her skin and her shape and her body. It's pretty cool. So action steps to take from this: read. It starts with food. That's where I would start. Review the rules, guidelines, portion sizes, and all the official Whole30 resources, which I'm going to include here. Watch the video on planning and prep, then plan out your week, how you're going to shop, what meals you're going to have, everything, right? Put in place your backup plan, and ask any and all questions in our online coaching group. So that is it. Let me pull that back up. It's exactly how you're going to get started, and make sure to look for the next video to see where to go next. So best of luck. I'm super excited for you to get started in your Whole30.